Hi, I'm Kadeem. I'm a motion graphic designer, and I'm going to be talking about the process of printing and different businesses that I worked at to learn their processes, okay? So, back before I worked at Third Lounge, before I worked at the high school, before I worked for any client, I worked at a sweatshop and I worked at Office Max at different times in my life, but they felt the same. High pressured, high deadline companies where you had to try to get out stuff as fast as possible, right? And you had to learn how to take care of the equipment. That was the most the I would say the beautiful part of it. It was very, to me now, it's very calming, So with a sweatshop, I'm gonna call it Good Tees. Good Tees, I was in charge of folding. Sometimes I would be on the computer and proofing things for the print job. Other times I'd be cleaning the screens, okay? And this way I got to learn about exactly how you got the ink from the screens onto the clothes, right? The boss man, he always would let me see different parts of the process. So it was very entertaining, educational, either way for me. And it taught me that, hey, someone could have a successful business and not be prim and proper, because this business was very informal. It was very informal. It was a very New Yorker, Queens guy. He was just like, hey, Kadeem, come back here and do blah, blah, blah. So I'd be back there cleaning these screens. There was no AC. So it was truly a sweatshop. It was hot as heck. It was just me and this other kid in the back just cleaning screens all day with these chemicals that I don't even know what was in it. But we'd be scrubbing it in the back, and then we'd come back. And that was our day for a very long time. But, every now and then, they'd buy us breakfast. We were interns. So we would learn different parts of the process. We would clean the screens. We would do some of the screen printing. We would test it on dummy shirts, like shirts you weren't really going to send off to a client. We weren't trusted like that. And thank God, because I was not in that place as a 17-year-old, right? So with every job I have, I always want to learn something, right? I want to learn the process. I want to learn just a little bit, just so it makes sense with me being here. Anything less, I'm just wasting time, and time is that one resource you can't get back, right? So in 2013, I'm going to say, I had just graduated. Oh, that's 2014. I just graduated, and I had decided that I wanted to try to work at Office Max, because I wanted to basically learn the process of printing now. Because when I was in college and I used to do all these projects, these print projects, I was always enamored by how these people would print all these beautiful, my projects were beautiful. The books they'd print out my magazines that I do for school. They'd print out my menus, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I want to learn it. So I got this job, and I learned that it was so much more to it, because the way they treated it was you were a print shop in the middle of a store. So sometimes you'd have a partner with you. Sometimes you'd be by yourself. And I learned that you had tasks that were basically, you had to be a self-starter, but these tasks were daily. So you'd be doing things like you'd be running the machines early to make sure they can print. You would be stocking the paper so that if people came in to do self-print, they could just take the papers off and then just put it in the thing, and they could just do the thing on their own. You had to basically see if there were any projects from the day before that need to be done before new clients come in or new customers come in. So I would be doing all this. Customers would come in at 6 a.m. and they'd say, hey, I need to finish this project for 12 o'clock. And we had a rule. You don't tell anyone, you don't promise anyone that you can get it done at a very specific time. You'd say, you know what? When this project is done, we will send you a email or a text. I don't know how we did it back in the day. I don't remember that part. But we would do a requisition form to let you know. I think we'd call. That's before text was the thing. We'd let you know. So, they would put that form in, but they didn't know that we had a whole log of different projects that were probably bigger. And we had to basically go with our priority. Which customer was already in the system and that had to be done even sooner. So I'd be printing out these big blueprints for architects. I'd be doing these books for little like firms, different companies. I'd be doing, going through all these projects. It was really great. You'd be doing all these little things, while customers would be coming in. Because you still ran independently, but you also were working with the rest of the store. So even if somebody just wanted to buy something random, they could just come to you and purchase. So your printer will be running while you're doing something else. And then once the store was clear, you'd stop and then start printing again and then start folding. You would do things like staple. Well, the machines could staple, but sometimes things wouldn't go right, because machines are machines. You would do things like a lot of my stuff that I was doing was maintenance, like making sure these machines are running properly. Because sometimes if the machine went down at a certain day at a certain time, you'd have a line crazy long and nobody wanted to leave. You could say, hey, the machines are down, everybody. I don't know when they'll be back up, but you can come back. And some people are like, no, I don't want to come back. I want to stay right here until you fix it. Because in their mind, they thinking, hey, I feel like as soon as they think it's the ice cream machine at McDonald's, okay? Let's be honest. They think you're lying. So you would tell them, hey, I promise you once it's done, we'll let you know. You can just go around the store if you want. You can do whatever you need to. And then, everything will be fine. So that job taught me a lot about like priorities in business, the technical aspect, which was cleaning, learning how to cut, like a lot of crafting stuff, to make things look good, how you package projects, labeling things so that you didn't have to search for a client's project, because I remember in the sweatshop, sometimes it would get very unorganized and we'd be looking for a client's order and all that stuff. But you didn't want that to happen in the Office Max because it's a conglomerate company. It's a bigger one, I think. So you couldn't just have the client's stuff somewhere in a corner. No, it was labeled, it was sealed. So by the time the client came, it looked very presentable. You give it to them, they pay their money, and they go off happy. And that's the way the business would run, okay? All this to say, whether you're in design or not, whatever business you're in or whatever industry you're trying to get into, make sure you pick jobs to learn things. Get transferable skills, because no matter where you're going, you're going to want to know whether you work in retail and you have customer service. That customer service is the one field I could say does not go away, even though in retail right now they have the machines trying to take the cashier's job. Being nice to people and learning how to help people under pressure is a very serious thing. And there's transferable skills in every industry. And that's the one thing you want to put on your resume is those transferable skills, all right? Anyway, thank you for watching. Come back next time. I have some more videos, some more advice, some more stories. Bye.